Looking at the one-day chart here, and we're parked at $2.55. Now here's what happened today. We got that rate cut, right? And XRP took a tumble with everything else. Some folks were out here saying, oh, the market already saw this coming. Then you had another crowd going, nah, this is going to be one of those sell the news moments. Well, turns out the second group nailed it. But you know what? XRP is actually doing pretty decent right now. We're talking about a 10-cent drop. That's it. And you already know how fast XRP can eat through 10 cents like it's nothing. We're not in those painful bear market times anymore. My take? XRP is going to recover right alongside everything else. Now, if President Trump and Xi can hash things out on that US-China trade deal today, we could see this whole market take off. Oh, and Bitcoin? Yeah, it's sliding back to $110,000. Look, everyone's out here convinced Bitcoin just ran out of gas. Analysts sees Bitcoin breaking all-time high before a year. You know what, though? Count me in that camp. I think we've got one final explosive move waiting to happen before the whole thing implodes. And my money's on seeing it before we flip the calendar to 2026. There's this whole crew saying the 4-year cycle's basically dead, and Bitcoin's gonna keep ripping until halfway through next year. Me? I'm calling it everything wraps before December 31st, 2025. But here's where I'll push back. We haven't seen Bitcoin's ceiling yet. Not even close. Fed lowers rate 25 basis points. Oh, and he dropped that little breadcrumb about a December rate cut is not guaranteed. Bitcoin slides to $110,000. Can I just say how pumped I am for the day utility takes the wheel on XRP's price? The second utility locks into XRP, we're breaking free from Bitcoin's grip completely. I cannot wait to witness XRP doing its own thing without playing follow the leader with Bitcoin anymore. The landscape's going to transform entirely. But we're missing one piece. Regulations have to land first. Once those regulations hit, that's when the floodgates open for genuine institutional money. And I mean the heavyweight, game-changing kind of institutional adoption. And once that door opens, utility is going to start cranking for these cryptos that actually serve a purpose. Ripple news. New report reveals XRP ETF launch timeline. So according to the report, 7 U.S. SPOC XRP ETF filings are currently under review by the SEC. The agency is expected to make decisions between October 18th and November 14th, following its September approval of new generic listing standards for spot crypto ETFs. Market data platform. Polymarket now shows a greater than 99% probability that the SEC will approve a spot XRP ETF by the end of 2025. That level of confidence suggests strong institutional expectation that XRP will soon follow Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, and joining the US ETF market. So there's been wild speculation flying around about this whole thing. Everyone's got their crystal ball out. We're going live Friday. Then someone else jumps in with, nope, next Wednesday for sure. Here's my read on it though. These ETFs aren't switching on until we've got a functioning government again. My gut tells me Atkins has to greenlight these XRP spot ETFs before anything moves. Are they getting the stamp of approval down the road? 100%. That question's already answered. We're just waiting on the clock now. Look, this is happening. The only question is when. I keep seeing people say they're waiting until Ripple swell is over, but here's the thing. I really don't think Ripple swell has any connection to when these SPOT XRP ETFs get the green light. XRP is ranked 3rd on the ETF filing list. Mega XRP bounce loading up. Get this, we've got 20 ETF filings for XRP since 2024 alone. The moment these things launch, you're going to want to have your position locked in because this crypto is seriously about to take off. XRP will easily become a $1 billion ETF in its first months. Matt Hogan from Bitwise is saying an XRP exchange-traded fund will easily hit $1 billion in assets, says Matt Hogan of Bitwise Crypto Insiders are bearish. Believers in XRP will drive flows beyond expectations. Here's my take. These XRP ETFs are going to absolutely crush Jamie Dimon's forecast. He threw out 6 to 8 billion. I'm calling it right now. We're going to see way bigger inflows than that. The market is sleeping on just how much demand there is for XRP. Here's something wild. XRP reserve on Binance drops to 2.74 billion XRP. as smart money accumulates quietly. XRP is vanishing from exchanges as we speak. So picture this. What happens when FOMO takes over and everyone rushes in to buy? We might actually witness real scarcity unfold this cycle. Just this week alone, whales are loading up over $560 million in XRP accumulated by large holders this week. So get this. According to sentiment, smart money knows something. When the whales continue to load up on a cryptocurrency, they usually have a gut feeling that something is about to give, that a breakout is about to happen. But we have whales accumulating XRP. It's disappearing off the exchanges. And here's the crazy part. We're sitting right on the edge of retail FOMO at the exact same time. Because, listen, the second XRP breaks out, I'm telling you, the FOMO is going to be absolutely insane. People are going to look back and go, wait, I can't believe all the XRP vanished from the exchanges. Like, that couldn't really happen this time, could it? Now throw in the ETFs on top of that, add in the possibility of regulations finally getting put in place, which I genuinely think are going to drive massive institutional adoption, and boom, you've got yourself a perfect storm for XRP. Solana just took a major shot at Ripple, XRP Army says. Western Union will go bankrupt. So Michelle drops this gem. This company will be bankrupt before it moves $1 billion on Solana. You keep focusing on Blockbuster. I'll focus on Netflix. I loved that line, and honestly, it's completely true. So let's talk about remittance platforms for a second. That's literally the goldmine right now. Everyone knows Western Union, right? But man, those fees will make your wallet cry. And don't even get me started on how long you're stuck waiting. Now here's something wild. There's been this buzz going around that Solana supposedly cut a check to get Western Union on their blockchain. Can I prove it? Nope. But honestly, who even cares about Western Union at this point? Listen, you've got XRP in your portfolio. The IMF has talked about it. The BIS mentioned it. The World Bank's on board. Basically, every major central bank on the planet has acknowledged it. And you're losing sleep over Western Union dropping a stablecoin on Solana? Really? A blockchain that goes offline more often than my gym motivation? Just think about it. Millions of remittances zipping across borders. Then suddenly traffic jams the network, and bam, everything freezes up mid-transaction. So imagine the outrage when this actually plays out. People are already bleeding money on fees that make no sense, and don't even get me started on how long they sit around waiting for transactions. And we're calling this progress? Please. This is us moving in reverse. Ripple spotted this mess ages ago and basically said, nah, we're done with this nonsense. All of this? Pure smoke, my friend. Solana's price can be engineered artificially, while XRP's price depends on organic demand and utility. Many people overlook how easily certain price surges can be manufactured in January 2025. Solana's price jumps 63% when Trump-themed tokens launched on its network, but that surge wasn't based on real growth. Those tokens required Solana to purchase, which created artificial demand and pushed the price up temporarily. XRP, on the other hand, is built on organic demand and real utility. Its supply is permanently capped at 100 billion units, meaning no new tokens can ever be created. To dilute its value, XRP's strength comes from adoption, not speculation. It secures the Ripple network and serves as a bridge currency for international payments. As Ripple's protocol continues to expand, the need for XRP grows naturally alongside it. That is the difference between being engineered hype and lasting value. When investors take the time to study what actually drives XRP's demand, the picture becomes clear. Plus, there's paperwork backing all this up. But hey, that's just the reality. Look, I keep hearing people hyping up these coins like, this one's gonna destroy XRP, XRP killer right here, but they're completely missing the bigger picture. Ripple doesn't just have some tech, they've got the actual patents locked down. Plus, they own the rails, like the entire infrastructure. We're talking about 10 solid years of building, testing, and getting everything connected. That's not something you can just copy, paste, or throw together over a weekend. Want to compete with that? Go ahead, start from scratch right now. But guess what? You're sitting around until 2035 waiting for all those rails to actually be functional. Good luck with that timeline. This is the real reason XRP isn't going anywhere. It's the future, plain and simple. The Internet of Value is coming. Seriously, just check out what Giancarlo's saying about all this. Listen to this.
Crypto is more than just a funky new asset class. Crypto is really a whole new architecture of finance. It's an internet-based architecture of finance. The earlier wave of the internet, the one we're all familiar with, the Internet of Information, was all about computers talking to each other. Well, now we're on the verge of a new wave of the internet. It's no longer about computers talking to each other. It's about computers transacting with each other. And they're going to do that in the form of digital tokens. Computers are not going to contact your bank to make payments to another computer. They're going to find direct means through tokenized units of value to pay for things, whether those are stable coins, which are basically tokens pegged to the dollar, or other forms of digitized value tokens. That's the future of the 21st century.
People are going to be transacting with each other using crypto. You're literally sitting on robot money right now. Just let that sink in. Here's what's wild. You jumped into crypto, right? Well, congrats, because you're not just riding one wave. You've got your feet in both the fourth and fifth industrial revolutions simultaneously. That's insane. And the Internet of Value? Oh, it's coming. No question about it. XRP price today. XRP holds steady near $2.63. Traders watch key $2.80 resistance zone. So that's where we're hitting resistance. Push past that level, we're rocketing straight into $3 territory. Now keep your eyes on whatever drops today with the US-China situation. If that news leans bullish, I'm calling it now. The whole crypto market's going to snap back. Are we going to drop lower before we climb higher? Look, it could happen. That's always on the table. But here's the crazy part with XRP. You watch it tank super fast, right? Well, that bounce back comes at you just as lightning quick. Think about 2022 for a second. XRP would slip 5 cents, and you'd practically grow a beard waiting for it to recover. 2 full weeks of watching absolutely nothing happen. Those painful slow-motion days, totally over. Now XRP's jumping around in 5, 10, 20-cent chunks, like it's got somewhere to be. Everything's different in crypto right now, which is why I crack up when someone tells me holding is boring. Boring? You don't know boring. Boring was babysitting your XRP during these dead zones right here, watching the chart barely twitch for days on end. Check out that sad little climb. Or maybe don't, because there's barely anything to see. We're talking months of effort just to squeeze out a 10-cent gain. Flash forward to today, XRP cranks out that same move between breakfast and dinner. My take on where we're sitting right now. We're inches away from the action everyone's been dreaming about. The explosive moments we've all been holding out for are practically breathing down our necks. All you've got to do is stick around long enough to watch XRP launch into orbit and see this thing finally pop off. Stay steady. Stay optimistic. All right, everyone, I'm closing this one out. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Catch you in the next video. Hope you have an awesome night.